I just want to kind of get down to how did we get here, where we have a situation in America where we have what I think is the rights of association being violated, the rights of freedom of speech being violated, where you literally have situations where workers who are morally abhorrent to things like abortion or, let's say, gun control rights, right? And yet they're required to pay money just to have a job, just to have a job. The America that in the founding, people had freedom of assembly. But how did we get to this point where we are allowing businesses through the coercive force of government to coerce people into joining an association that they philosophically disagree with? Mr. Solomon, what's the history here? And I think it began with the Sherman antitrust laws, right?
Well, I don't know if I can go back that far, but essentially federal law, the National Labor Relations Act in Section 8A3.
Or the Wagner Act.
The Wagner Act, right, allows a employer and a union to agree to a contract that would require the forced payment of dues and fees. Now, as you said, this violates an employee's fundamental right to the right to work, the right to earn a living, because if they don't pay, they can be fired on condition as a condition of employment.
Right. And the irony is that this place creates a lot of downstream problems, because originally the Sherman Antitrust Act said it was illegal for people to collude on pricing. And they did that because they were trying to stop businesses from colluding on pricing. But the outcome was that unions were also colluding and that therefore illegal. Therefore, we passed the Wagner Act, right? And the Wagner Act then creates further downstream problems because it said not only after the election occurs can you join a union, but you're required to. You have no right to be removed from that union. I'm getting heads that are nodding in the back. The follow-up to that was the Taft-Hartley Act, which was the act that said states could evoke a law that erases basically the coercive part of it. So the outcome is economic freedom for some states and others not so much. So my state of Missouri is a closed union or forced union shop state, yet we're surrounded by right to work states. And you know what I hear every day? The sucking sound of jobs leaving the state of Missouri and going into states where workers have economic freedom. Why are those states growing and states like Missouri are not growing as fast?
Freedom is popular. Many businesses say that they'll only start businesses or bring jobs to right to work states. And right to work is a proven job creator. The latest data from the National Institute for Labor Relations shows that right-to-work states have double the job growth of forced unionism states. But even more important than the economic argument for right-to-work laws, I think what you touched on earlier is that it's a fundamental freedom, which is what the Supreme Court ruled in Janus for public sector workers, is that no one can be forced as a matter of the First Amendment in the public sector to pay dues as a condition of employment.
I worked in IT in the private sector. No one was union in IT that I can think of. And you know what benefits employees more than anything is more job opportunities, more employers down the road. And so no, I didn't have to look to some other organization or association to fight for me for my personal compensation, because the best thing that benefits an employee is competition. And the sad part is that we chase it away when we enforce laws in our states on employers. Because if you're an employer and you're looking to go to a state, why would you ever want to go to a forced union state and have to deal with not just the employees that you want to negotiate with and work with, but now you've got some third party that wants to step in and tell you how to run your business? Right-to-work laws don't get rid of unions, but they just make it optional for those individual employees. And so there's certainly right-to-work states where unions flourish, but it's dependent upon individual choice for those employees. Thank you. My time has expired.